ready to do life and business on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. You either make excuses or you choose to level up. What amazing guests living the big ticket life. Woo! Woo! Brandon Brittingham.
Appreciate you having me here today, man.
It's that kind of discernment, that kind of focus, that kind of forward thinking that's so important if you're going to succeed in business today.
Jeff and I are like friends. We're real friends.
We are so you unlock fortune and freedom without all the stress that normally comes along with it.
It all comes down to your why. You know, your business, why are you doing it? You know, how is it going to change the world and what's it going to do for your family?
I want you to celebrate your success.
Talk about the struggle, but I promise you, the story is in your struggle.
They'll never be able to say that about me because people only see me working hard in anything that I'm doing whenever they see me.
Focused on your success and the success of those around you.
But being that constant in your community, good or bad, whether things are great in the community, bad in the community, who's steady?
Unapologetically do business and life on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. What amazing guests living the big ticket life. And we discuss how they do it and the big ticket methods they use. The things that make your life successful so you do life and business on your terms.
In and of itself, the only limitations that we really have on ourselves is the ones that we allow to be put on ourselves. And most people don't look at it in that perspective.
There's nothing wrong with being humble, but there's also nothing wrong with stepping into your superpower and letting people know who you are.
Get ready to do life and business on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. Austin, welcome to the show. Great to have you. You know, looking at the list of things you do, you definitely put the cereal in serial entrepreneur. I'm sure some days it might feel like Fruit Loops, other days it feels very wise and satisfying, like, you know, Oat Bran.
But I don't know. Every day it feels like Fruit Loops to me sometimes.
Well, welcome to the show. I mean, literally, you have one of the longest rosters of businesses and ventures and things you're involved with that I've seen to date. So we're not obviously, but we're not going to dig into every single one of them. But what is the thing that gets you moving in the morning? Where's the drive come from? Because you can see in the show notes with the show, there's a lot of things that Austin and Arm Brands have going on. So where's that drive come from?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, Jeff. It's been...
No, you're welcome.
I've actually gotten a little nervous. You guys are super, super professional on top of things. I was like, oh man, I'm actually nervous for my first time on a podcast. But yeah, I mean, what gets me up? I don't know, man. It's a tough thing to say, but a lot of it is knowing that you can create change in this world. You know, you can either spend your days sitting in bed watching Netflix or getting up and empowering people and teaching and mentoring and building things. You know, a lot of people, I guess it's just all about your purpose. You know, some people are happy working the 9 to 5, and obviously I've never been that way and have never had a real job. So, and so I know that if I take a day off, you know, I'm letting down all 70 employees of mine. I'm letting down my partners, my investors, my teammates, and everyone. And honestly, not working sounds kind of boring to me, I guess. When you create businesses and brands that are awesome, that you love, that you want to, that you know you can change how the industries are done, change how the world views them, and impact some positive change. You know, it's easy to get up at 5:30 a.m. and start that work day.
Yeah. So we'll dig into two things you said there about making change. So it seems like, you know, looking over your website, in multiple websites, one of the things seems like you're looking to make change on is to give those that you bring in around you, the teams that you have, really give them opportunity through that first job to being a part of the team and growing with the company. That's very cool. I like that. Where does that come from for you to be more than just an employer?
So I guess I I worked till I was about like 27-ish, 2015, so like 8 years ago. And then I kind of semi-retired. I was like, all right, I'm doing a lot of good things. I'm gonna go hang out and take that lazy route. Traveled a lot, learned a lot, went to a lot of places, and that was kind of like, I don't know if my midlife crisis, quarter life crisis, where I went from like hiring people for like, you make $15 an hour and that's your job, yada yada. Maybe you get promoted in this whole corporate ladder thing. And when I came back, I kind of went back and started some new businesses, revamped old ones, and that was kind of my like deciding point where I'm not gonna just hire someone for 15 an hour for a year or two till they move on to some better job. I want to like give people this opportunity, right? I started out paying myself $9 an hour until I was like 21-ish. And I am so happy for that. I still pay like some of my companies, I don't pay myself anything. Everything goes back to the employers or reinvested, whatever. And so I just, the opportunity that I kind of created myself, and so, obviously was blessed a little bit. I had great parents and whatnot, but I just want to give that to other people. Everyone's so caught up in working $15 an hour or $25 an hour or 60,000 a year or whatever it is. And for me, I think there's just more to that. Like, I mean, I work for $9 an hour and I lived in a house of 5 other roommates and just, scrounged for years and just reinvested back in myself until I had the opportunity to go open new stuff and buy equity and buy homes and real estate and buy all sorts of other stuff. So I kind of am just giving that back. And the people that that I employ that do well are the ones that, are okay, understand how it works. They start at the bottom. And I want to sell you so fast. I want to go from 15 an hour to 10,000 a month within like 3 months. But obviously a lot of that is mentality and work ethic. And that's pretty much it. If you have work ethic and a strong mentality, you can go through just about anything really.
Right. Yeah. No, that's very cool. Glad you're leading it that way, because it's not many are. I talk to a lot of employers that just have that old view that you had, right? Here's the dollars, here's the hours, show up, shut up, do the work, and this is the expectation. And you really kind of suck the joy out of people's lives with that style of leadership. You also touched on something about disruption, right? And in the industries that you're in. So let's dig into that. Why do you like disrupting the status quo? Why do you like going into a niche? And maybe we could dig into a couple examples.
Well, I mean, first off, a lot of the things I do are, let's say, before their time. I own a lot of Airbnbs and do a lot of that, but I was doing that before it was, I guess, technically legal. There's different cities, different laws and stuff like that. And I also do that super different. I'm revamping that right now and running all these new systems and processes. And it's going to be so easy. Like my cleaners they're going to be making like $40, $50 an hour, being able to just quickly, scan QR codes, do checklists, get this thing started. It's going to be so awesome. Another month or two of that, and that'll be great. But yeah, Airbnbs, I mean, the reason I grew so fast is because I just do things so differently. Like everyone, buys a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, 2-bath house or a condo, puts in, upper end, maybe IKEA furniture, and then posts it on Airbnb and sits and hopes to make money. And, everything I do, I want to be an expert. Back when I was doing marijuana constantly, 2009 to 2014, 15, I barely smoked weed, and I probably knew more about cannabis than 99.9% of people. Nowadays, I know nothing, and my team knows everything. But I mean, if you go to pharmaceuticals, you'll still learn more about cannabis than probably any other dispensary out there that we've been doing. Our GM Tom there, that guy knows everything there is. But the liquor industry, so I opened the candy shop 2 years ago. I've now sold it, so it's gone. I still have the brand, but the store is gone. We took every liquor store in the world sells, $15 bottles of Taka and cheap handles. And we decided we're going to do 80% local. We're going to do small sizes, and we're going to donate to the alcohol addiction hotline. We're going to change how things are done in the liquor industry. We're going to do craft drinks, and we're not going to promote overindulging. And I'm like 18 months sober right now. So you have a sober guy running a liquor store.
Congratulations.
We had a whole non-alcoholic section. We had tequilas and rums and champagnes that had no alcohol. And so it was kind of a whole different way to do alcohol. Almost everyone can't even name their favorite liquor store. Like I just go to the closest one that has Jim Beam. And so that's where I came in and wanted to change that whole thing. So we didn't even sell handles. We just sold 750s was our biggest size. We sold single serves, and it was a way to change everything and change how people think about alcohol, and how to treat it, rather than the whole drink till you don't remember every Friday and Saturday. It was more of a, hey, let's support local and drink things that taste good and won't give us hangovers and still live a functioning life at 8 a.m. every morning.
Right, right. Yeah, that was one that stood out to me in your roster of brands and businesses and things you've got holdings in, especially here in Pennsylvania where I live, because the Pennsylvania state government owns every liquor store in the state. They own it.
Oh, wow.
There's no free market when it comes to the liquor in Pennsylvania. Beer distribution can be private, but yeah, it's one of those old laws that has yet to be fixed, and probably won't for some time. But
We'll probably make a lot of money off
have,
that. A lot of revenue off that.
yeah, I guess they do all right. But it's just a bad experience, right? It's imagine the service you get getting your driver's license. Well, these are the same kinds of people that work at the liquor store, and there's select fews. We have a personal friend in our family who works at one. She's great, Sharon. She actually gives me the heads up on, good stuff like Michter's and Buffalo Trace and Pappy, but it's rare that we get it, man, because it's all monopolized. But your candy shop thing, that really intrigued me. It sounds like really great business. So you ended up selling that.
Yeah.
Who bought it?
A guy bought. He's in the liquor industry, and he really just wanted the license. So he bought the license for to move it nearby within there, because there's zoning, so you can only have certain liquor stores within a zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I have the brand and everything, so I'll open another one up, and who knows, sometime, a couple of years maybe.
Yeah, sometime when you don't have 7 other things going on. So, the drive for entrepreneurship. So we all love it as business owners, as entrepreneurs. At the end of each day, what's your goal look like each day to have accomplished in the day?
Man, that's a great question. So I guess a lot of it would be, did I end the day with all the fires put out? Was my stolen car recovered? Was the broken door recovered? Did we fix the plumbing? Every day there's always something. The trash company didn't come. Now we have to figure that out. Or, processing stopped working, or the marijuana enforcement division sent us another notice for something. There's always something going on all over the place. I guess the biggest thing is, did my team feel accomplished? Because I spent a lot of my day with different people and different businesses, and did everything that they wanted to accomplish, was I able to help them get it accomplished? Were we able to clean every room possible? Were we able to clean every office building? Were we able to make sure that all the people that needed to be trained were trained? There's definitely days that I don't get everything done that I should get done. And I definitely get yelled at sometimes for not being there for some of my teammates. But at the end of the day, were we able to progress a lot? We're able to build things. We're able to systemize things and make it easier for teammates to continue to do their work. And so, I only sleep like 5 or 6 hours, so if I don't get it done, I know it's going to be done within 12 hours. So I'll wake up and get working on that.
Yeah. Sounds like there's a story in the stolen car thing. Do you have a car stolen?
We live in Denver. Denver loves crime. You can steal a car and you don't even go to jail. They recover the car, and then whoever owns it has to pay like $500 to get it back, and you just go and steal another one. I think Denver's #1 for car theft now. I get a car stolen probably every like 3 or 4 months.
Really?
Yeah,
wow. I didn't know that.
That's the life here.
What's that attributed to?
Just easy laws, lackadaisical laws, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No penalties, no punishment. It used to not be like that. The last 4 or 5 years, Denver's really gone downhill. We're like #1 for fentanyl, #1 for car theft. Like, I don't know. It's been a rough couple of years in this city.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So you've got, we've mentioned you got a number of businesses. How many are active right now?
Virtually all of them.
Okay.
I
And
think
what's
I think active is probably about 28 or 29 of them.
okay? Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you this way: which one had, and this isn't to say to your teammates, people within the others, we're not picking favorites here. We're filling time. We're spending time on a podcast, um, which is a nice way to say pick your favorite. But the cleaning thing, you've brought up cleaning process and systems around cleaning a number of times. Is there something behind that? Is there a passion behind that?
I don't know about I don't know about a passion. I just almost there's so many people in this world that clean, and so many companies, like even our like chain. We have like two chains. One of them is like Molly Made, and like every time you get a cleaner, it's like a different clean. So I just see that like the cleaning industry is so personal. Like whoever you hire, that you just stick with that person because they clean well, and there's no like consistency. And nowadays we have a new tech and all these like new ways that we can incorporate it and make it like the cleaning will still be essentially the same, but the processes behind is what I'm really targeting right now. So I want to make it
Mm,
so you can go in and clean like a 3 bedroom house in like 45 minutes and still get all the same spots. And so, with training and videos and checklists and everything's digitalized, so I can repeat it and scale it is kind of where I'm heading right now. And I don't know. I really feel like there's a lot in that industry that's been left, at least in the last 5 to 10 years. And now with all these new with AI and we have QR codes and digital websites and all this kind of stuff. I'm trying to incorporate a lot of that into it so that all our cleaners can get done more efficiently, faster, more efficiently, get everything to where it needs to be in a less amount of time so they can go back to their families faster, essentially.
right. Right. It's very interesting. So, I think, the lesson there is you can scale just about anything. You can systematize just about anything.
Someone can. I don't know. I haven't scaled everything fully yet,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah,
But
one
there's
can.
opportunity. Yeah, there's opportunity there. And I think so many business owners um, are so afraid of that. Like they feel if they create these systems, they're going to remove themselves. And because they're not involved, the business will fail. When in fact, the outcome is the opposite, right?
Right. Hopefully, if you do it right. I mean, the goal is to work yourself out of a job. You know,
Yeah.
for me, the goal is to empower people to run an entire business. Like you may start as a cleaner today and make like $20 an hour, but the goal when I hire someone is like, do I think you could run an entire cleaning business? Do I think you could run all of Colorado with 50 employees? And that's what I want for you. I want you to work your ass off until you're making 10, 15 grand a month running teams. And I'm going to be there trying to help you, but I would love to work myself out of a job where I'm not actually cleaning, where I'm not actually managing, where I'm just creating systems and processes to make your life even easier. That's really kind of my forte and my strength is trying to take someone and take a position and be like, how can we make this faster and easier so your life is more simple? And I do it with
Yeah.
myself. I try to make my life more simple all the time. That's I think we all do, right? And so that's what I want to. I see that my cleaners are like, I have to wash sheets. I have to do this. It takes like an hour and a half to do a 1 bedroom studio. And then, so I'm like, all right, well, how can we, obviously the sheets, we can't really like shrink that because that's how long washers take, unless we find like some technology comes in that halves the time. But everything else, we can figure out how to do it quicker and more streamlined. So you can at least have a 1 bedroom apartment or 1 bedroom studio done in 20, 25 minutes. And then you can
Right.
work on your own business while you're waiting for the sheets. If you have your own side hustle, cool. Here, let me teach you how to do that. You can go and sit and work. You can go social media. You can go, build your machine or whatever and work on your own stuff while you're still getting paid to do this stuff. And so, a lot of what I do is all incorporated. So like in my Airbnbs, right? And then I have like a marketing firm called Denver's Best Deals. And, a lot of my businesses are featured there, obviously, but I created Denver's Best Deals in order to just get all these small businesses together. I think we have like 40 or 50 different businesses now, and they all offer, it's kind of like a Groupon, but only local and small businesses. So you scan in, you get a code, and then businesses only pay per lead versus paying like $500 a month or whatever it is. And then, but all that is incorporated with all my Airbnbs, because in every Airbnb, there's a big giant sign that says scan here for local deals. And so we have restaurants, ice cream shops, all this other stuff. So then like the guests see that and they're like, oh, cool, I get 10% off basically all of Denver. And then they go to all these local businesses, and then we just keep building the community like that and growing it. And so that's incorporated. Then when you're working with me as a cleaner or working with me in any business, we throw your business on there. So like, you know, everything really can be done, and all of my stuff really is intertwined, super intertwined. You know, if you go to my cannabis store, you're going to see liquor, you're going to see my coffee shop, you're going to see, you know, the bookstore at the coffee shop, you're going to see all of these other different businesses there. When you go to, you know, when you're out at one of my events, you're going to have sign-up sheets for our next event, for our next this. You're going to have free joints or free drinks or whatever it is. You know, everyone we just all build together. So as my events get bigger and bigger, like we just had our last one, my GM just threw like a 250 person party. And so obviously all of our local businesses are there too, supporting, and we just keep growing it like that. So not even just on the employee side, or not just on the customer side, even on the employee side, you know, we're intertwining as well. Like you're a Reiki healer and you want to clean, cool, let's build your business while you work. Do this, go build your business, learn how we do it. I mean, anyone can take my marketing methods and adapt it to their thing. We can have stickers and QR codes that go to a sales funnel. I mean, this is just scan this for a penny joint, goes right into a sales funnel. Anybody can copy that. It's a sticker. We put it all over, put it in bars or restaurants, anywhere.
Wait, hold that up some more. I want to scan it again. No.
Go ahead and
scan this for a penny joint, man.
That's right.
Well, there you go. If you're in the Denver area and you want a 1 penny joint, you can go scan that right here on the show and go to Pharmaceuticals. But I mean, really, what you just shared there, rapid fire, there's a lot to unpack. So the Denver Best Deals thing, I mean, if you're a business owner and you just heard that and it went over your head, or you're like, well, that won't work for me, wrong. What Austin's doing is he's the tip of the spear in his community with Denver Best Deals. He's the tip of the spear and created a really great network. Who are you going to rely on if you need thank you gifts for somebody, you know, a group of customers in another business? Who do you go to first? You go to your Denver Best Deals people, right? If you've got a promotion in Pharmaceuticals, who are you going to put that in front of first? All those Denver Best Deals people. If you're a smart marketer in your local marketplace and you just heard that, we're giving you the lesson together to, maybe it's not a Best Deals format, but maybe it is something of, hey, we're all in this block. We're all in this neighborhood. We all participate, you know, where I live, where my business is local, Lancaster has First Fridays. You know, you could have a First Friday card and you could be the one to spearhead that up. And then, because you've got some extra marketing skill that others don't, you can create that funnel and you can send the leads, and maybe you don't even charge for it. Maybe you do, but you create such a powerful network of businesses around you that serve you in so many ways, serve your clients as they do in your Airbnbs, cross promotion. What a smart thing. And really, you know, when you cross promote like that, $0 cost for leads, right?
Right. Yeah. I
Because
mean,
you've paid for it once.
Yeah. It's all, I mean, just keeping local community growing, you know? And so, I mean, a lot of my stores are very local. A lot of our events, you know, we do stuff with bigger brands, but it's just, I mean, essentially, if you're a small business opening a retail store, you have to have a network. Like I used to, when I was younger, think I could do everything myself and I was the smartest motherfucker out there. And now it's like, you know, if you want to be big, you know, I always, any new business now, I bring on a partner. I bring someone that adds assets, that has intelligence, you know? And so, now it just grows, and it makes it easier. You know, you have someone that can do some of the work, you have someone that can do this, but also they have strengths that you don't have. And, you know, once you get your ego out of the way, you actually do have weaknesses. I promise you. We all have weaknesses. And so, you know, it's just all about just connecting and growing. You know, if you're ready to put the work in and you see another business, you're a restaurant, you see an ice cream shop, why would you guys not work together? Like, you know, there's no need to compete. It's all about collaboration. There's enough out in this world for all of us to have, have everything that we need.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that right there. The abundance mindset, as soon as I come across somebody who, says, well, I need to be the only one in the room. I need, it's, I'm afraid of this competition, or I don't want to share because of this person. To me, that's a very limiting belief system and mindset. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the people that, I mean, even between in our group, the people that we've networked with and been with, like, there's some big players out there, and they almost all of them started small. Like, people don't just come out of nowhere. I mean, everyone puts in their 10, 15 years of work, and then you don't hear about them, and then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere. I mean, you can even just take Stuman right off the bat, from
Right.
jail. I think he was in jail 14 years ago. Nobody knew who the fuck he was until 5, 6 years ago, and he just started growing. Like, I mean, he came from pretty much like a negative. I mean, he's sitting in jail for 6 years or 9 years, something like that. I mean, there's stories like that everywhere. Like, all these people that think like, rich people just come from old money and their parents' money, and obviously somewhat that's true, but most of the people that are actually currently growing and making themselves rich started from very little. Like, I mean, it's
yeah, I mean, I've heard stories of people who really practice that abundance mindset, really practice a mindset of determination and, agency. Like, look, it's in my control to be and get everything I want, and I can make it happen, because truly in this country, no one stops you, right? Like, there's hurdles, there's obstacles, but as you're jumping a hurdle, it's not like somebody's swinging a baseball bat and knocking you in the head. Either metaphorically or physically. It just really doesn't happen. Like Ryan Stuman, founder of Apex, we're both, for those that don't know, Austin and I are both in the Apex Entourage group, and some of the other groups that they run. And, it's a group of people that are really dedicated to being the best version of themselves. And there's really nothing stopping you from that. I had dinner with friends the other night and was told a story of somebody who's as a father with 4 children, teenagers to grown up children, who's making less than $8 an hour as an adult.
Wow.
And it just blows my mind that can exist. And it's not because there's mental incapacity. It's not because there's physical disability. It is an active choice. And, like, you can't go anywhere in our town that doesn't have a hiring sign up, So obviously right.
Everyone's hiring. I'm hiring. Everyone I know is hiring.
Yeah. Your messenger response is, hey, we're always hiring. So fill out an application here, which is actually a really smart move, right? You're always taking applications, because you just never know when you need somebody.
Got to keep that pipeline full. Yeah, we have one of my teammates. He posts every day with a new different job that we're hiring for. I mean, as we grow and expand, I can never have too many cleaners. Life happens. People move on. We need people in my coffee shop. We need people at my weed shop. Everywhere. There's always things going on, and we just got to keep that pipeline full, especially as we grow. I mean, I'm about to open probably a year from now. I'm going to need like 100 employees in a giant cannabis warehouse grow that we're building. So, I mean, no better time than now to start setting up people to go down there and trim and grow and manage and harvest and all those things. We're going to need quite a lot of people down there.
Yeah. Wow.
It's going to be a while.
So there's no brakes on your train.
No. I follow Dan Constantino. No finish line. I'm much younger too, so I'm not even like halfway done with my marathon. But yeah, I mean let's kind of go back to that. I mean, when do you stop? When do you want to stop? And I've thought about this over the past like year or two. Especially a lot of this came up in my last relationship, and you definitely got to make sure you fit with people with your core values. And I don't plan on it. Like, I can't imagine. I was just having a conversation yesterday, but with another business owner, and she's like, I just want to sell it. and I have enough equity, I could just go live in like Honduras for the rest of my life. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I could do that too, but that actually sounds really boring after like a month or two. Like there's always people I can go empower or teach or whatever.
Yep.
And a lot lately I've been leaning more into like, just sharing and teaching. I'm going to be writing my book soon, and just I've done so much dumb shit and made so many fucking mistakes over the past 20 years of my entrepreneur career. And back when I was before my midlife crisis, I used to think I was the shit and I knew everything, and I would never go to masterminds, I would never hire a coach and all that. And then finally I grew up and was like, dude, there's no way I can know everything about everything. And there's people that have done this, people that have done that, they can stop. And and then obviously coaches want to be paid and all that. And so, or you can network with people that have done it and talk to them, and you choose your circle. You can surround your circle with people that have failed and can teach you how to not to, or you can surround yourself with people that haven't even tried yet. And so, the last like 3-4 years have kind of just been realizing that I can't do it all myself, realizing that there's people that can stop me from doing really dumb things, doing more dumb things myself and facing those consequences. Right. And then just still going. I mean, you just can't stop. There just isn't a reason to, and I don't see any finish line at all.
Yeah.
Just more failure and more struggles and hopefully a tiny bit of success.
Yep. So you said 3-4 years ago, you kind of had a change of, concept and perception of the world and what you know and what you didn't know. Was there a moment? Was there an incident, an event? What happened that made your mind shift?
I don't think there was any single moment. I think it was probably like a 3 to 5 month kind of period. I believe it started when I was like in Bangkok. I was in Bangkok or Vietnam, and talking to my team and stuff. And I think maybe a couple of people at that time, I was gone for I think 6 weeks in Southeast Asia, and the people running the businesses at that time, I think there's something like, I don't know, I had the thought of I wanted to give them equity or something like that, or have them, they were doing all this for me, and I obviously I trained them and I'm paying them, and something happened. And when I came back, I started looking at the numbers and the business and seeing that there's actually not really nearly as good as they said. And so I guess I just kind of, my revelation was like, I'm paying them, say, $70,000 a year or whatever, and they just think it's another job. And how do we change it from a job to like almost a lifestyle? Because when I start a business, that is my lifestyle. I mean, I'm in my grocery store every day, for the last like 2 years, almost a year before it was even really open. I'm there 4 or 5 hours every day. And so how do I do that? Like, the real thing I thought it was like ownership, but obviously giving ownership in multi-million-dollar companies is maybe a little bit crazy unless they've been there for a long time, but giving them some sort of something. So a lot of my companies, I give them a kind of profit share, revenue share, bonuses. So I'm now at the point where I'm trying to get more away from hourly and more into like, hey, you do a good job, you make it a little more. Like, obviously a base commission is important so people can cover their bills. But really it's gonna be like a smaller base commission and then just massive bonuses, massive, revenue shares or whatever it is in that specific position. Like cleaning is paid per project. So if you're really good and fast, which is all I'm trying to do right now is try to speed it up, you can make, I think yesterday I just hired a new person and she made like $100 in like 4 hours on her first day. So, and so obviously I was there working with her and helping her and stuff, but I mean, today I think she's going to make like $150 in maybe 5 hours. So, and that's like her first day. So if I can make that quicker and faster and, as she learns and she gets better at it in like 2 months, if she can be making 40 or 50 an hour cleaning while also promoting her business in the Airbnbs, possibly taking clients then and building her business, like that's what I do it for now. Like,
right. It's
not like, hey, pay her $20 an hour and then go sit in Mexico on a beach and be like, I'm an owner of a business, so they all work for me. I mean, that's what I was doing, and I don't know if that cuts it for me anymore. That's no longer my why, no longer my purpose.
Right. Yeah. So the passion for local, right? We've talked a little bit about that. and we've touched on it about how local is important. You connect these local businesses through other businesses. Is there anything where you could say, like, why are you really connected to local? Where's that passion come from?
Well, it probably starts with me being a native to Denver. So this has been my city forever. But even as I expand, like, you know, I live in Dallas sometimes too, and have started growing some stuff there. But local and small, I mean, I get so many people that would have problems. I literally right before this had someone that has a small business, and he's like, I don't know anything about taxes. I need help here. And I'm like, cool, here's my account. Go let them know whatever. And so like it's easier to connect, but also, you know, a lot of people hate corporations, but just remember they all started small too at some point. And so all these small businesses that are around us, you know, if we all work together, we can all get to that point, get to whatever you're trying to go, financial freedom or a legacy for your children, or, you know, just feeding amazing food to people, if that's your mission and your goal. But like a small business, it's going to be almost impossible to do it on your own. There's people that do it. Awesome. Great. But I mean, what is it? Like 90% of businesses fail in the first 3 years. So that's a pretty big stat. That's worse than divorce. So if we can get, you know, an ice cream shop and a bike shop and, you know, a pet shop all together, and they all work together and market together, then now that collective power can help grow these businesses. And eventually, hopefully one of them takes off and becomes a corporation. Great. You know, or sells off to a corporation, whatever their end goal is. But it's just so much easier to do it with other people going through that same struggle. You know, I saw in your intro, Jessica saying, you know, your stories and your struggle, and you're going to fucking struggle. We all are going to struggle. I mean, COVID just made America probably the biggest struggle we've had in 100 years. But yeah, I don't know. I love the locality, like having stuff made here in Denver and produced in Denver with the Denver market, with Denver people, even if they're transplants and just moved here, like it's just good to keep it close. And that I agree with that for every city, you know, in DFW, I'm going to have a DFW's best deal soon. And, you know, keep that all close. And I don't shop at corporations as much as possible. You know, my friends, every time they go to Starbucks or somewhere, like, I'm like, don't go to my coffee shop, just go to any local coffee shop. Like, I don't care.
Right.
But you probably, even if you watch me on Facebook, I'll yell at someone if they share like an Amazon thing. I'm like, don't shop at Amazon. Don't do it. Like, let's support our people. Bezos has plenty of money. I'm great. You can love him, hate him, or whatever. You can love Tesla, you can love Elon, but I would rather be supporting the mom with 3 kids. It's like struggling to make rent this month. And I think that most people agree with me, but the dollar is where it really counts. If we aren't banding together as small businesses and local businesses and collecting as many dollars as possible to help support our community, then we're just going to keep going through and bitching on Facebook about Elon's next tweet.
The things we'll never control, the things that we allow to control us.
Right.
We will never have the opportunity to affect change. Yeah. Yeah. No, really great point. Love the fact that you're so into local. I think that's actually maybe a good place to kind of wrap up our time, even though it's a little early. It's all right. I love the fact that you're so connected to local. You've got just a bunch of things going on. So armbrands.com is the place to go to check out everything you're doing. I'm sorry, thearmbrands.com to check out everything you're doing. If anything has resonated with you about Austin, please do connect with him. We've got all his contact info in our show notes. Austin, I'll give the final open platform to you, and any sage or wise departing words as you've shifted your life in the last few years. Again, congrats on 18 months of sobriety. That's great to hear. But I'll give you the platform as we wrap up.
Yeah, so I guess if you're a struggling entrepreneur or businessman, or even thinking about getting into it, connect with me. Find me on Facebook. Shoot me a message. I personally respond to all messages 80% of the time. I'll at least see it. Insta, Facebook, however you want. You can go check out my blog. You can listen to my podcast. If you really want to hear just how a dumb guy does dumb shit and somehow makes it through. Yeah. If you're looking for any information on brands, you know, we're hiring. If you want to do it, we have remote positions. We have flexible hours. You can work 1 hour a day or 40 hours a week, whatever you want. We have commission ones. We have hourly wages. Most of the hourly are going to be in Denver, though, at our retail stores. But yeah, if you're looking for any kind of change or you want to talk, comment on my shit, say hi, shoot me a message. Half the shit I post is stupid and half of it's really insightful. So you can pick and choose which part you like. And thanks so much for having me, Jeff.
Yeah. No, appreciate you. I think the title of the book is going to have dumb shit in it.
It's going to be Moron to Millionaire. How one moron made a moron to millionaire.
Love it. Love that title. It's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
One more pitch real quick. If you do, we do a monthly meeting called Millionaires Are Made. That's my where I get so many questions and everyone asks me questions about business. So I just have once a month we get together. Last month I gave out free websites. I built websites for everyone in sales funnels. This month I think we're going to be doing SEO. But yeah, I do it live as well as in person. So if you want to just learn whatever I think you all want to learn, once a month, Millionaires Are Made.
All right. And that's millionairesaremade.com. Is that where you go?
Yep. Millionairesaremade.com.
Very good. When's the next call?
I believe it's in 2 Thursdays. So 2.5 weeks.
Okay. So that would be May 18th, I think. Does that sound right to you?
That sounds right.
Yep. Very good. Yeah. So when you hear this on audio next week, you still got time to get on millionairesaremade.com. And if you're watching it live today, you got 2.5 weeks till May 18th for that next call. Austin, man, I really enjoyed this. Love your fire. Love the fact that you got no brakes on the train, no finish line, and you're full speed ahead, man. Really appreciate you and appreciate you spending time with my audience today. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. And for everybody else, you know the routine. We'll see you next week on The Big Ticket Life. Take care.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode of The Big Ticket Life. You've heard from another amazing guest living their own big ticket life, and now it's time to live yours. First, I'd love for you to take me up on my free gift to you. Claim your gift at gift.thebigticketlife.live. That's gift.thebigticketlife.live. See, all your life you've been told what is and what isn't possible by the loudest voices from the cheapest seats. It's time to finally do life and business on your terms. Sure, you've heard similar things, but without clarity on what can be done, it's easy to have your customers, employees, maybe even partners, and your spouse keep you from truly living a big ticket life. My big ticket methods shift you into that investor seat in your business, away from commodity and away from competition, into a market of one, so you can finally live your own big ticket life. So my gift to you is for you to book your discovery call today, where we'll uncover first the Chivo behaviors, those chief everything officer behaviors that hold you back, and why moving into the investor seat in your own business is critical. 2, we'll uncover the premium position that's up for grabs right now in your market that you're missing out on. And 3, which big ticket methodologies are just waiting to be dropped into your business to explode your sales and profits. So again, thanks for listening to this episode. I'd love for you to take action right now. Accept this gift. Book your call. Go to gift.thebigticketlife.live. Again, that's gift.thebigticketlife.live.